Okay guys, in today's video we're going to be
Yes.
reacting to what if ARK's Giga entered Skull Island, made by Goji Center and the Dino, because, you know, he always
Hello.
wants to be in these. So we're going to go full screen, obviously. Well, let's get right into it. And soon I'll be reacting to the FNAF full trailer, whatever. You guys don't care about that. You can watch to the end of the video. I don't really care if you don't. If you do, I'm just making this for fun. Let's get right into it. Also, blood warning and all that kind of stuff.
Today on Goji Center, Skull Island will once again witness the arrival of one of the most feared assassins of all time.
Yeah, you got
this isn't just any dinosaur.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert. Spoilers, and spoilers.
It's not just any monster. This is ARK's Giga. That's right, this colossal predator will be taken from its island and dropped into the most terrifying biome of all time. Will the fauna in this island hold its own against the Giga, or will they all turn into this lizard's lunch? What will Kong or the Skullcrawlers do when they see this animal kill their food? Subscribe if you love prehistoric
Kong can
carnage.
definitely kill a
Coming
Giga.
up,
Kong, yeah, but I feel like you know that musk thing?
Yeah.
I think that would probably die.
Yeah, I think it's so done.
Oh, like the stick? Like the tree?
Yeah, there's like a few guys.
Oh, like the
In a
spider?
previous episode,
Hold up,
we
let me turn your voice volume up on Discord. I'm sorry, it's way too hard to hear over a video. Okay, I think we're good.
How'd I
discussed
sound?
what would happen if this Giga
sound
stepped
good.
on both
now
Isla
it's too
Nublar
loud,
and Isla Sorna. The results were catastrophic for the inhabitants of those two islands. This time, ARK's Giga will face a roster of arguably more deadly creatures, varying in size, animal classes, and most importantly, intelligence. We are quickly going to recap the Giga's two most important attributes that
By
might
the way,
help
guys,
it
I
survive.
don't play ARK, so I have no idea what the Giga does. All I know is the Giga is strong, I guess. I don't know. Okay, he knows
Wait,
more.
but they're not. He's not using HP into this.
I
It's
know.
still
I
very
said
good
strong,
too.
my guy.
I know,
I
I'm
said
just
strong.
Survive a little longer on this island, as well as an additional one involving its corporal build. First and foremost, getting attacked by this Giga or any Carcharodontosaurid will put you at the mercy of some pretty sharp bladed teeth made for cutting and promoting tons of blood loss. In ARK, this attack takes form as its Gnashed ability, inflicting a temporary health loss debuff on the victim. Except in the real world and in our scenario today, any unarmored animal will suffer for the same effect but for a longer time, because unlike in the game, you don't miraculously stop bleeding in real life. Also, let's quickly cover this animal's in-game rage.
The only way to stop bleeding in real life is get a band-aid or like put your hand on it, but still.
But I don't really think animals are gonna do that. So yeah.
Ability,
You need the humans to help.
which is triggered by receiving tons of damage in a short amount of time. This allows the Giga to inflict even more lethal damage on its opponent. This will take form in the real world as an adrenal response in this
Yes,
animal's
actually something
body,
in, like,
allowing
even
it to
tame
soak
Gigas,
up
like,
damage as well.
they can actually
And
turn on
finally,
you.
this animal's size. In the previous episode, we entertained the idea that this creature measured around 71 feet in length, based on this dossier image. In this episode, we'll align ourselves with the
71
size that is seen
feet
during
means,
gameplay.
What's with this guy in Skull Island? Okay, guys, we're pausing too much. So we actually do expect. But this guy has a lot of stuff Skull Island, I feel like.
Yeah, because
The
Skull
size
Island's
seen in the-
awesome.
Dossier is a way more
let's
conservative
just watch
estimate,
now.
but here we see that this big dude measures approximately 43 to 45 meters in length, or up to 148 feet in length. That's right, guys.
Is that me? I found.
This big fella is not here to play
It's
around.
short, which
So,
is me.
now that we have a good idea of what we're up against, let's
That's like an adult.
unleash the Giga.
Oh,
The Monsterverse iteration of Skull Island is actually
You
a
thought that was a
really
kid?
big place, full of big monsters that come in the form of mammals, reptiles, giant hawks, and more. Somewhat similar to the behemoth seen in Call of Dragons, today's sponsor,
Oh, yeah, there's a
an
new
MMO
Skull Island
fantasy
show.
conquest game where you take command of armies of elves, orcs, dragons,
This is like a sponsorship.
yeah, I know that.
Yeah, here we go.
and now we can return
Guys,
to
this video
Skull
isn't
Island.
sponsored.
A vast environment. So big, in fact, that a full-grown Kong took a while to realize he was contained within an artificial environment that was a fraction of the entire surface area of the island. All animals here have territories where they thrive relatively comfortably. meaning that when ARK's Giga lands here, the first thing he's also going to do is find territory. The best place for him would be an area similar to where he thrives back in ARK, which would be the high altitude regions of the map. Yeah, this guy isn't stupid. Here he has a good view over all things that happen below his scope of vision and where he can easily spot any prey or threats that may pull up on him. For good reason. In the
Okay, guys, I want to cut that out. I got the same. Don't describe the ad because that's just.
I'm not going to, okay?
Oh my gosh, I got the same damn ad I got in the Skibbity toilet reaction. It's the same thing.
Who'd win, King Kong or Skibbity Toilet?
What?
Who'd win, King Kong or Skibbity Toilet?
King Kong, maybe.
This episode involving ARK's Giga, you may recall that this guy was pretty much unrivaled in terms of size, with the only animal getting close to it being the mosasaur. Here, things are a little different. There are some animals that more than just rival, but potentially surpass the Giga in size. A monster like this Giga, or any predator for that matter, seeks to find its place in the food chain as quickly as possible, sizing up threats and quantifying them as he towers through Skull Island's jungles. Inevitably,
Seriously, dogs? My dogs keep barking. I'm sorry if you can hear that.
he will end up running into some of the main ones, beginning with the mother longlegs, who towers over the bamboo forests. These will be easy to spot and bring down. Since this Giga's jaw can encompass the entire body of one of these spiders, one chomp from these thick serrated teeth will be more than enough to crush the body organs of this arachnid.
Yep.
Fortunately for these spiders, the Giga was just strolling by looking for higher territory. However, if this acquired taste of spider proves to be delicious for this Giga, there's no guarantee that this predator won't stop by again for some tasty spiders. As the Giga moves through the forest, he'll start running into other types of predators, such as these death jackals, the raptors of this island.
Should we call him Goji?
What?
Wait, what do we call him? Goji or would you just say Goji-Seno?
Goji-san, of course.
Okay, do you think Goji-Seno? Do you think the person that do you think they actually played ARK?
I don't know.
I mean, if you know this much information, you must at least play the game like once.
Are extremely small
Yeah,
in
probably.
comparison to this Giga. It's possible that the Giga won't even bother chasing these things down at first, since the caloric
that's a bit,
intake wouldn't be enough to make up for
Yeah,
the
that's
energy
big.
spent chasing these things down. It's like you running on foot chasing a half of a speedy granola bar. Not really worth it, dude. So, having said this, any animal smaller than these guys would probably be safe from the Giga, if and only if they keep their distance, or if they stay in small packs. We'll return to this concept in a little bit, because there is a smaller set of living beings on this island that shouldn't feel safe just yet. As mentioned in
Why
many
does he
previous
laugh like
episodes, living organisms seek shelter, food, and
Why
water
wouldn't-
first before anything
Why
else.
shouldn't?
Yes, big animals get thirsty too, and they need lots of water.
And
the
no.
issue here is that fresh bodies of water on this island tend to be inhabited by some pretty gnarly creatures. But are they enough to bring down this Giga? Skull Island is so far home to a couple crocodilians. One which relies purely on ambush tactics, such as this siren jaw
Ambush.
crocodile, a creature who waits on prey to confuse
No,
its
don't
mouth
go
with a
do a
floating
lanky
cave
bar.
or shelter, only for them to find out that this was the complete opposite. And the next being a swole crocodile
then-
who relies on both ambush and pursuit tactics to
Ambush.
pounce on prey. But measuring against this animal,
Boys.
there's simply no competition. Same applies to this other animal, the swamp locust, who relies solely on ambush tactics on specific
Ambush,
types
boys.
of prey animals. Given their size
I said
difference
don't
and
do a
considering
lanky
that this
bar.
Giga kills anything smaller than itself, going to drink water
That's
at a
what
swamp
lanky
will
box
be
would
more or
do.
less like going to a buffet. Unfortunately for these three creatures, ARK's Giga is just too
You know,
big
no,
to
I'd be like,
attack.
oh
On the
my
contrary,
God,
these
it's
animals
Shut
will
up,
leverage their
shut
similar
up, shut up,
attributes
shut
to the
up.
surrounding fauna,
Oh,
staying
oh.
low and deciding not to bother this Giga, letting it drink in peace lest they become this animal's appetizer.
So far, the Giga
But
survived.
we aren't done with fresh water just yet. If the ARK Giga decides to wander by a lake like this one, he may find himself in a sticky situation. This right here is a Meyer squid, a cephalopod of gigantic proportions capable of releasing boiling ink.
Oh.
Can this thing bring down the Giga?
No.
Well, let's measure them up. Meyer squids can measure up to 110 feet in length. This surpasses this by almost 40 feet and dwarfs this thing in terms of mass. But does this matter? No, it is quite possible that this Meyer squid could inflict deep wounds to this Giga with its beak, which, by the way, rotates like blades. But this would then, in turn, 1. Activate said rage mode we discussed earlier, and 2. Giga would retreat backwards to dry land away from this body of water. Since this squid
Yeah, my
does not
squid's so
have
done
sufficient
for, yeah.
mass to drag the Giga down into the water, the Giga would win this tug-of-war match and drag the squid onto dry land. Would this hot ink do anything? Maybe to another giant theropod, but this Giga has something else up its sleeve. Insane levels of health. This takes form in this world as corporal resistance to the elements and insane rate of
You know what I mean? He's trying to say he's durable.
Oh, like his skin's like very durable and thick.
Yeah, we'll just say that.
recovery thanks to this animal's implied high immune system. Yeah, this thing can recover pretty fast and can tank a ton of damage, which is necessary given that this thing tends to step on lava quite frequently in its biome. So a splash of hot ink would probably just
he
make
can
this
step on
Giga
lava.
even more angry.
Well, our dogs are so loud.
These teeth would slice through this creature's squishy tentacles, causing this creature to cut its losses and retreat, and possibly never attack this Giga again.
I accidentally clicked
Or
pause.
worse, provide the Giga with its first
How
course
long?
of seafood. So
We have 8 minutes.
far, we find that Giga is faring
You're saying
pretty
how long
well
will you
against
pause for?
freshwater creatures. But now let's turn
No, I clicked the pause on the video. Like, well, the video we're watching, not
our
that.
attention to the even less fortunate inhabitants of this island. But real quick, before we do that, we wanted to take note of something really important. We see down here that you are subscribed. At least we hope you are. But please help us understand how you watch Goji Center.
this
but
is
you're
on my
not
Indie
subscribed
Battles
to
account.
Goji Shorts. What is this madness? Goji Shorts is a channel full
Yeah,
of
guys,
fun
will
3D
subscribe
animated
on
clips
Indie
of your
Battles.
favorite kaiju and monsters like this Giga,
Wait,
ruining the
what's
lives of
Goji
unfortunate
Shorts?
civilians.
Okay, Jurassic World in Ohio.
Oh, he makes shorts.
No, these are for sports.
Yeah, let's go back to the video.
Civilians for your entertainment. Don't let them die in vain, dude. Subscribe. Okay, let's return to some of the medium-sized creatures in this island. Here's 3. Icarus tigris, or holy tiger,
That guy's
spur
not that big.
buffalo, and spore mantis.
don't think so, at
Here's
least.
how
They're
they
all
measure
gonna
up
die.
against ARK's Giga. Out of these 3, the animal that would give the most
I don't-
trouble to the
Tigers
Giga
are
would be...
or whatever.
Hmm?
I don't think the tiger's that big.
Yeah, whatever.
This fella, the holy tiger. Not because it's a giant tiger with antlers,
I think it's because of the comics.
Well, maybe.
but because of its hallucinogenic ability it can inflict on its prey. It's unclear on whether or not this can affect larger creatures, but if it does, this animal's weapons are still not enough to inflict a single lethal blow before the Giga's rage mode kicks in and bypasses the hallucinogenic effects. The
Does he
results
make
would
these renders?
I think he might.
end up
Either
being
that or has, like, a
another
teeth.
murked cat. Skur buffaloes? Well, these guys are interesting since they could technically injure this guy in critical locations. Let us explain.
Oh, yeah.
Full-grown Skur buffaloes are not to be considered pushovers. This bony mass on top of their skulls could pack enough force to crush bone, especially if they do this in large numbers. Whether they have the balls to do this or not is up for...
Ahem. Goji Center.
Don't worry about it, okay?
debate.
Whatever.
These creatures would be nothing except a source of food for this giant predator, which will cause some issues.
Dogs, please, I'm trying to record a video.
issues down the
Exactly.
line. The spore mantis here is the lucky one, since it's arguably the most camouflaged creature in this island. ARK's Giga would likely not notice these at all if they just stay low, which they do in the presence of a larger threat. Unless, of course, it gets stepped on, and, well, yeah, bye-bye mantis. We'll throw in another major medium-sized creature for you really knowledgeable people of the Monsterverse, the magma turtle. Before the arrival of ARK's Giga, this animal lived in peace thanks to its biology. This turtle is a living magma rock. Anything stupid enough to try to attack it would just have a mouthful of lava. There wasn't really anything that could kill it apart from Camazotz, who technically isn't a native.
I just must have forgotten.
Yeah, of course I forgot. That would be months since we watched this.
Inhabitant of this island anyways. Could ARK's Giga
It was
kill
even
it?
in the
And
night
would it?
fever.
The Giga is
Still,
4 times the
2-3
size of
months.
this magma turtle. The issue here is that unlike every other animal the Giga could kill, you really can't eat this one. The good thing about being a magma turtle in this place is that nobody has any real reason to kill you because they can't even eat you. And yet, this Giga is known for killing everything with a pulse, whether it eats it or not. Meaning that getting your head stepped on by a sadistic, bloodthirsty theropod from hell is now a
magma
reality.
turtle. This is the first thing to
Thanks
kill
to
a
this
magma
animal's
turtle.
Hmm?
This is the first thing to kill a magma turtle.
Get a Giga.
What?
Get a Giga if you want to kill one.
Yeah. You're going to rage mode though.
heat resistance. Continuing on with the murder of innocents, we find ourselves returning to the small guys we mentioned earlier. If you are small, you're not worth the caloric intake, except when you live in large, concentrated numbers. Again, with our example of the granola bar, you wouldn't think that it's worth it, but if these are slow moving and live together in some sort of enclosure, then you may find it worth your while now. Yeah, we're talking about the iwi population in this island. These people lived in fortified villages. These forts are built to keep out some of the hostile fauna from the island. Every other animal knows that behind this wall, a banquet awaits. These have been breached before during the events of Skull Island Birth of Kong, where this crackhead blew up the walls, bringing in a swarm of mother longlegs. Before the events of 1973, there really wasn't anything big enough other than Ramarak that could bring this fortification down. Now there is ARK's Giga. As this dinosaur tears through these dense island jungles, this creature will inevitably catch
Wait,
a
I can't
whiff
wait to
of
see
these
Skull
humans.
Crawler
The higher
versus,
concentration of
Giga.
these people would draw the Giga to their village, proceeding to tear down through these fortifications and begin
I
to
think that's something
massacre
that's going to be
these
able to
people.
kill the Giga.
What?
You think Kong can kill the Giga?
If it's the one that goes over as Kong, oh yeah, he absolutely can. The Giga's so done for against Kong.
Yeah.
But I'm
Messing
talking
with
about the
a few
skull
things
crawler.
in this biome has a few repercussions.
That'll be more
Going back
interesting.
to the Skur buffaloes, you are now messing with another predator's source of food. If you go around killing innocent creatures just because, then you are going to anger a certain someone on this island. Yep,
Oh,
we're
Kong.
talking about skull crawlers and Kong.
Oh.
Being able to fend off both of these monsters would almost guarantee this Giga a
It's only
comfortable
the big
stay
skull
in this
crawler
island.
that
For the
be
purposes
able
of this
to
video,
kill him.
we'll entertain the idea that
The
this
small
Giga
ones
arrived during the
also
events of
done for.
1973, where Kong was around 104 feet in height. That is less than the length of ARK's Giga, but he is much taller. This ratio seems a bit familiar, similar to the King Kong versus V-Rex situation. So, can this teenager Kong defeat a full-grown Giga?
Oh, wait,
This
so they're
episode
talking
would be
about the
extended
Kong
another
and
20
Kong
minutes
Skull
if we try to
Island, and this
explain
one was much
every
smaller.
detail. But in this particular situation, this face-off would be easily settled with one attribute: ranged weapons, which ARK's Giga lacks. That's right, because of the lack of any ranged weaponry, this animal will literally be at the mercy of Kong when it comes within range. Using its impeccable accuracy and its ability with throwing makeshift spears, this Giga would become the hunted if caught in Kong's scope of vision. Keep in mind that Kong wouldn't kill this animal if they just both were sane enough to stay out of each other's way. But that's not the case with this Giga, because this species is simply not wired this way. They kill everything on sight, and that just does not go with Kong. Even the skull crawlers have a reason to kill simply because of their metabolism. Anything in front of them that fits in their mouth, they will
Exactly,
eat.
skull crawlers
and
are
the
always
Giga is
hungry.
also included. Perhaps, maybe not the juvenile skull crawlers. These little guys will most likely even serve as food for ARK's Giga as well. Their armorless bodies will provide absolutely no protection from the Giga's gnashing bites, meaning that any
Wait, so
aftermath
even the
of these
big
skull
skull
crawlers
crawler
will be
dies?
largely dependent on how large these skull crawlers are.
So yeah, the
A
only
skull
way
crawler
that oh no, these are the big ones. Okay.
larger than the
Let's
size of
see this.
Ramarak would probably have a good chance at bringing down a Giga. But a crawler in equal size is a matchup that could go either way. This one is up for debate and will be featured in a future episode. Subscribe not to miss it. The question to answer is the following. Is
ARK
what this
Giga
animal
versus
brings
Skullcrawler. So ARK Skullcrawler versus Giga.
to the table enough
ARK
to help
Giga
us
versus
survive
Skullcrawler.
on this island? The answer really depends on how this Giga behaves itself. Don't worry, we'll give you a final verdict in a little bit, but given how this animal behaves, it is really unlikely that the big neighboring creatures will give it a pass. On one end, this animal annihilates all innocent life forms that come across its way. It's taking away this animal's source of food, and not only that, this Giga went out of its way to attack the iwi. Now, if we look at the likelihood of this Giga choosing to not do these things, the chances are really low. Simply because this thing is instinctively wired to kill and repeat. This leaves no other option for both Kong and Skullcrawler to fight this thing until it's destroyed. For extras,
Imagine
we'll
Kong
go
and
ahead and
Skullcrawler
state that
team up.
both
Bro, is that
Oh, that's Kong from Godzilla vs Kong. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
He would
dead.
put-
He's dead, my God, he's
fully grown
dead.
Kong and Camazotz would easily make quick work of
Oh,
a
yeah,
Giga.
the bats
Facing
die.
off against Titans is completely out of the Giga's league. It took the most dangerous biome in the world to finally put an end to ARK's Giga. Had it not been for its instinct to kill absolutely everything, maybe this animal would have found another home. Thanks for watching this episode.
Yeah,
And
okay,
if
so
you like this
ARK's
content,
Giga,
subscribe to
because
Goji
it
Center and
murders
also
everything,
subscribe
it
to
angers
Goji
Kong and then
Shorts.
he dies.
Okay, so what does it lose to?
Maybe the big Skullcrawler and Kong.
Alright.
And also Camazotz.
Okay, well, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe to Goji Center.
Yep.
I have
You also had a melon.
I have 26 Discord notifications. That is amazing. Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Goodbye.